Everybody in the galaxy. It's Tuesday. Welcome back. It's Tape Tuesday. Oh, how are y'all doing out there? Hope you had a great weekend. I know I sure did. Made a lot of tunes this weekend. Well, we got to start this show right now. And you know how I do it? I play you one of my songs. Today, we're going to make some tape loops. I got all the gear right here. And I think this song is appropriate. I do a lot of loops on my channel. Feedback loops, tape loops, drum loops, 303 loops. Where's my 303? Anyways, this song's called Loops for Lifetimes. It's on my album, Funko Wunko. Check it out. All right. We got the Tascam 414. It's my most favorite machine. Right after the TB-303, of course. Ain't nothing gonna take the #1 position in my mind for favorite machine. Got all the tape loop making gear. That's what we do on Tape Tuesday. I make a quick tape loop. Then we record some freakiness on it. How are y'all doing in the chat? Give me some love in the chat room. We got Kiara in the chat, of course. We got Gonzin in the chat. Welcome back. We got Hen in the chat. All the usual suspects. You know what day it is. It's tape. Tuesday. Let's have some fun today. Well, last week on Tape Tuesday, we had a little problem with one of our tape loops, and we had to pull out the backup tape loop. We made some dolphin sounds with that. Let's see if I can make some magic with that real quick. Okay. That song was by yours truly. That's Loops for Lifetimes. I really like that song. So we gotta make some tape loops. That's what we do here on Tape Tuesday. But first, we need some sort of background. I'm gonna pull out my favorite. It's the Electrified Rain by Archaic. Let's just pop that into the tape machine and get it rolling. Okay. Right. So, we had a lot of fun last week. We did have a bit of a problem with the first tape loop we made. And I got that little sucker right here. I'll show you. Kind of turned out to be like a Batman looking thing with a black case and a yellow reel. We were trying to save that yellow reel. And I think the reel is a bit too thick for that case. So we're going to have to figure out how to fix that so that we can put this tape in our collection. All right. Trying to figure out why this is such a low level here. Something seems a little strange. But we like to lean into the strangeness now, don't we? It should be a whole lot louder than it is. What is going on? Oh, I got the Dolby on. I never use the Dolby. Oh, yeah. There we go. So, if you've joined us before, you know, it's kind of a bit of a studio session vibe. Like to fumble around with these old vintage machines and make some freaky sounds with them. And we're usually successful at that. All the above. The fumbling around, the vintage machines, we got them. And the success. Let's check out the gear we have today. We can do a little bit of a show and tell here. Well, I got all these tape reels from previous tape loop making sessions. And one of them I may have forgotten already. I think it's this one here. Well, that's holding the brand new Memorex tape. We opened up a non-renewable resource 3 weeks ago because it's got this beautiful blue and yellow color straight out of the 80s, baby. And we're juggling reels here. We're trying to keep it real. We're juggling tape and juggling reels, and I'm running out of reels. I know you can buy these things from Alibaba or whatever, but I like to pick up my weird tape loops from thrift shops, so I don't have any that are just empty. But you can get those kind of tapes that just have a leader on them and then 2 reels. That makes it a lot easier to make all sorts of different types of tape loops. But what we're going to do, we're going to open this up and we're going to try to free up our yellow reel, and then maybe next week we'll use that yellow reel in this tape and make a double reel tape loop. Haven't made one of those in the show yet. Actually, I haven't made one of those ever. I usually do the standard style. It's like a tank. I call it like a tank tread one, where the tape loop comes up in here Goes down just like that. I've made some very small ones that just go around here, and I like those a lot. But I think it would be nice to have one of these clear Memorex tapes with both the yellow reels in there. So we'll get around to it. But first, we gotta... If you're in my studio, you gotta have a use. And this tape loop is, you know, it's on the fritz. So we gotta fix that one. Let's jump in and make that happen. Okay, as usual, I got a lot of things going on around here. Gotta move some of these things out of the way. And of course, we got our backup tape loops, just in case things get a little bit too freaky. How we doing in the chat? Looking good, looking good. All right, so we're going to be opening this one up real quick. We're going to try to make it quick. We're going to have to spool it up onto some kind of a reel here. I got a new sacrifice tape here. This one probably needs to be cleaned up a little bit. It's got a bunch of glue on it from whenever it happened back in the 80s. I want to get into some micro cassette stuff. I got a nice dictaphone here, but we're probably not going to get into that today. But the reason why I wanted to kind of show you some of the stuff I got here waiting for a Tape Tuesday, I'm not sure if these have screws in them, and these are teeny tiny little, they're micro cassettes. And I know that I have some around here that have screws in them, but I don't have a lot, and it would be nice if I could get some more. Because then we could make a tape loop out of micro cassette. And that would be amazing. Okay, so I'm clearing it up. Oh, I had some other things I wanted to show you. Look at this. When you make a lot of tape loops like I have done, and you do it from, you know, thrift shops and blank cassettes and things, you'll end up with a box full of reels. And that's a lot of reels. The problem with these is that they're all storing good tape. Some of them might have some pre-recorded tape. I'm not sure because none of them are labeled, and that's just it's just how it happens sometimes. But I feel bad wasting the tape, but I'm having a little bit of a problem here because all of these nice reels, like that's a nice black reel right there. I'd like to use that in a tape loop, in a clear tape loop. You kind of have to at some point make a sacrifice. I think we might do that today. I've talked a lot in the past about what happens. Well, I have these memories in the 90s of seeing cassette tape on the freeway and the wind just blowing it down, and it looked like an endless ribbon of tape. And I like to talk about that a lot, but maybe I'll show you here today. All right, this I have to show you this. This is something I picked up on a bulk eBay kind of Walkman listing. I think it's going to be amazing if I can get it working. I haven't tried it out yet. It does have the dreaded battery corrosion, of course. It's not too bad. You probably won't be able to see that in there, but when you're buying old machines, especially synthesizers, you want to make sure you're getting it as clean as possible, or that you're confident in repairing things like this. I think you can neutralize this with vinegar because it is an alkaline. I don't know why they call it battery acid if it's actually alkaline, but I'm not. I fancy myself a janky electronics engineer. But this should be a really, really cool machine. It's got a radio too. There's not much on the radio that's good, but maybe we can change that. We got a cool radio show in the works here. But you're also looking for, when you're getting these machines, you want to be able to record with it. Otherwise, it's just a playback machine. And you want to have the output and the mic. And the mic is what's going to allow you to get synthesizers in there pretty clean. These things have a microphone built in somewhere. Right there. That's the microphone. But this is so cool. I mean, I feel like, did the Joker use this to call in his balloons? He stole my balloons. Great 80s flair there. I figured I'd come on and show you that. We're going to use this machine here. It's kind of boring compared to that one, but it does work. You know, sometimes these fancy Walkmen, they're great paperweights, but you know, we're not using that much paper anymore. So what's the use of a paperweight if you ain't using paper? We got Gonzin in the chat. They're saying use white vinegar to neutralize the battery acid. Thanks for confirming that. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, you want it to be white vinegar, not apple cider, because there's probably some small particulate in that apple cider vinegar. You don't want to leave any sort of residue on that. Okay. I got all the gear out on the table here. Got some scissors. You want to have some clean scissors. Screwdriver, of course. And you got to have some tape to tape up your tape. So I joke about saying tape 2,000 times on a Tape Tuesday. We'll see. We'll see if I can develop a tape counter, and I could put it up in the corner here somewhere. It'd be like, tape has been said 2,000 times this Tuesday. Okay, so we're gonna pop open these two. We got black and white, and I got a lot of cool tape loops we can play. Let's have some fun today. Let's get some tape stuff done today. Let's have some fun today. Yeah, we got Gonzin in the chat. Just saying some Max Headroom vibes on the live stream. You really think so? Is it? I didn't watch Max Headroom growing up, and I maybe have seen one or two episodes a few years ago, but I maybe have to refresh my memory. But what is it? The hair? Is it just the fact I'm using a VHS camcorder? What is it? Anyways, yeah. What? Did Max Headroom do that? Can Max Headroom? Just kidding. We gotta joke around here. We got a serious tape loop project in front of us. Oh boy, it is serious. Trust me. Serious music. All right, now you don't want to lose any of these screws. Get a nice small screwdriver going. Zoom in a little bit. I have this feeling that every Tape Tuesday I come on here and make a tape loop, and I want to get quicker with my tape loop skills. But sometimes it takes a little bit of time. Now this is going to be interesting. I'm working with two cassette tapes here. We're going to do a little tape swap. And I'm going to show you. I think I'm going to let this tape just freak out with it. I've never let a tape freak out with it. And what I mean by that is I want to see how much tape we can get. Hey, you're saying there's some Max Headroom vibes. Well, what if I make an afro with a cassette tape, and then it'll be more Bob Ross vibes, I guess. I got to shout out to all those old school painters. Now, these things I call a slip mat. Kind of, you can keep them or keep them or leave them. When it's clear, you usually want to take those out. But also, the slip mat is usually clear. Let me check out the VHS camera overhead light. Sometimes it gives a bit of a glare. Okay, so we got that one open. I'm just gonna put these things over to the side here. Let's open up this one next. Take this one and get it out of the way. We're gonna do a tape swap. I'm trying not to. Oh, well, that's easy. The screws in the black tape are black screws, and they're silver from the white tape. So it'll help me keep track of that. Once again, what you're hearing in the background is my long SOUNDSCAPE electrified rain. I got a really cool animation I'm putting together for that, so I'll be releasing that shortly on YouTube. Gonna want to give me a like and subscribe. Join the party, join the fun. This type of work is never done. That's the cool thing about being creative. There's always a new angle you can try. Now this screw here on this corner, I think it's jimmied. I don't know how I'm going to get it out. See, you never know what kind of problems we're going to run into. I'll just get the other screws out here first. Now the cool thing about this tape machine that I'm playing my SOUNDSCAPE on right now, it runs all 4 tracks of the cassette tape. Normal tape machines, like this one, it'll just run 2 tracks at a time, and then when you flip the tape, it'll play the other 2 tracks. Sometimes I like to show you things, and I know you usuals know this already, but see, I'm just playing these 2 tracks here. And sometimes it's nice with the SOUNDSCAPEs to just add in the reversed. And it really transports you into some sort of sci-fi realm. I highly recommend this machine. I have replaced the belts on this, and I have modified it to run at a slower speed. I like to call it Walkman speed, but I didn't add a switch or anything. Sometimes people drill right into the front. I'm kind of against that. I like to keep my machines in nice, pristine condition if I can, but I do have these little jumper cables in the back. Maybe I'll show that to you later. But I recorded this tape at a slow speed, at a normal cassette tape, what I call Walkman speed. Alright, I'm having some trouble with these screws, but that's part of the fun. You never know what's going to happen on a live stream. Gonzin's saying Max Headroom didn't do tape loops. So I got that going for me, which is nice. Yeah, that's kind of stuck. Trying to not lose everything. I'm trying to not lose it over here. But I gotta get the screw loose. And it's stuck. This tape is really on the fritz. Having nothing but trouble with that. But I imagine once we get it sorted, it'll be a good one. Depending depending on what kind of sound we put on it. So we just got one screw that's stuck. Can't imagine. I don't know why it would be jimmied. I don't usually jimmy things. I'm a doctor, not a screwdriver, Jim. There we go. Got it. Okay. Now, this is... ooh. I gotta be careful. I have got to be careful. Sorry about the glare there. So, the tape loop is already in place, and as far as I know, it's a good tape loop, but we couldn't get it to spin around very nice. We just gotta take this reel out, because I think it's too fat. That's a fat reel, I guess. Now, I got to swap out the reel. Try to make this interesting here. So I don't remember. I might be able to remember which one. So it was so bad. I don't know if you can see the lines here on that tape, but this is when I was forcing it last week with the belts, and then I got scared because I didn't want to burn out my belts. And then I was doing it by hand with the Bic pen for a bit. And then we, who was it? Someone in the chat said, just loosen up the cassette, and that did it. So we were able to spool it up a lot quicker. But this might be the reel that belongs in this tape. And I don't know, maybe this tape is slightly cursed. So maybe we'll put some freaky sounds on it. We can get some requests going in the chat about what you'd like to hear. Now this is the beautiful yellow one we tried to save. We turn off this VHS light. Just look at that. Oh yeah, that's gorgeous. Most of the time they're kind of a weird translucent white, and sometimes they're a nice black. I like that too. But this is holding. I think it's a higher quality tape because the tape itself is pretty black. It's dark. This is a ferric tape. It's more red, and that's an iron oxide. Ferrous metal, that's iron. Yeah, we're sitting here messing around with the particles from old dead stars. Thanks, old stars. Okay, so now this is good. I don't want to mess around with that because we just need a reel to put into there. Oh, remember, well, yeah. I think I'm going to save us some time and not do the weird rewind thing, but I need to get a use for these. Maybe I'll make some really, really long tape loops. I know that you can cut a hole in the side of a cassette and spool the tape right out of the Tascam. There's a notch. There's a notch right here, and you can just send the tape flying right out there, and you can. I know people use microphone stands and bottles and things like that to run the tape loop around. We'll have to get in. We'll have to do that one of these days, one of these weeks on Tape Tuesday. So very carefully. I got to put this in a very safe space, actually, because what we're going to do here is kind of freaky. So this will be, we can make a tape loop out of this. This is the one we are going to make a tape loop out of this week. But I did want to, so that I can say I did it and refer people back to it. A lot of people complained about tape machines eating up their tapes, and it is a possibility if your tape machine isn't in the best working order. Okay, I'm going to leave. You got to watch out for these little pins in here. There's a pin and a wheel. Then there's this little felt jobber and a plate. The anatomy of a tape. I'm going to put these over here. And let's do something a little bit crazy for the young ones or something. Let's just let's let it go. I'm so careful with these that now it's like, well, get it, let's do it. It's actually spooled up pretty tight, but you can see that. Well, how should I do this? Actually, just spin it like that. I want to measure this. I wonder how easy that will be to do, but this is this is similar to what I would see on the freeway, and then it gets all crazy like that. We'll have to make a wig for Freaky Teddy. That'll be a good use for this. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do. I need a reel. I have too much tape and not enough reels, man, so that could actually take a long time. I wonder, how do you get this to just unspool by itself? There's got to be a way. Like let's see if we can get it to work like that. If I can just hold the tape somehow. Let's see. There we go. Let's try. There it goes. Oh no. Now, a lot of times if you were trying to fix a tape and you weren't careful, this would happen. This is fun. I wish you could kind of see it, what it's doing there. Yeah, it's going for it. Not the best view. Maybe I'll switch over here. We're making a mess in the studio today. Look at this. Oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy town. It'll go for a lot of times. I never thought I would really do this before. It's nuts. You want to get nuts? We're getting nuts. I'm sure I don't need to actually measure this myself, but I'm sure I could look it up. That is a lot of tape. So this is... and we still got about half of it to go. I might be able to simplify this and just take the reel. I'm going for the reel here, but look at that. Have you ever seen a tape donut before? That's kind of cute. Maybe we should feed that to Freaky Teddy. I'm going to free it here. This is just absolute chaos. Sometimes you got to have some chaos. I like that. It turned out to be a tape donut. That's kind of cool. I'll keep that around. Oh, there it goes. Now it's really unspooling. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, that's cool. I guess. I don't know. I'm rarely a destructive person, but look at that. Oodles of noodles. Kind of wanted the donut, but so this. Imagine this on the side of the freeway, blowing in the wind for miles. It's craziness. Oh, now it's a flabby. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, let's make a heart. This is quite unusual for Tape Tuesday. Wow. I wanna maybe we should one day tie this to a drone or something and see how high it can fly. I'm not trying to litter or anything here. It's just an absolute mess. Look at this. Okay, so you saw it here. I have tape all over my feet, all over the floor. It's a lot of tape. Now I lost the rest of it. So we'll have to make some kind of... I'll have to do something with this. So this is one of the things that people would... This is one of the reasons why people kind of didn't like cassette tapes. That's what made the CD so popular. So we did that for this. There's another one somewhere. Oh, yep. They're still connected. Some people do these destructive tape loops. Now this is kind of nice. The mechanism that holds the leader in there is just a small pin. Sometimes it's more of a chunk, like a little Lego piece that goes in there. But this might be a little bit easier to work with. I'm just gonna, whoop, there it goes. See, you gotta be careful with things you don't want to lose. See how it's a little pin? If I could get my camera to focus. Now, I'm just gonna leave that out because that's not gonna affect the tape much. Okay, yeah, we're just making a full-on mess here. There's that tiny little pin jobber. All right, so with that, we now have, this is a power-up. Sometimes, you know, in video games, you gotta jump on a turtle to get your power-up. We got the power-ups. So hopefully this will allow us, well, let me, it's quite the mess here. I gotta be careful with this. I don't want anything getting snagged. Yep. Well, that's it. Oodles of tape. Oodles of noodles. Now this tape is still good. This was a pre-recorded tape, so I wasn't really too concerned about keeping it. I like to keep the blank tape though. Let's see if we can find that little... I can feel the rest of the reel in there. Ooh, that can make a nice sound. Here, listen to this. Sounds like rain in the distance. Yikes. Okay, I'm just going to throw that over there. Bye. We got what we came for. Now I can do some more. So very carefully, I'm going to bring in our tape loop from last week. And let's put let's see if these are the... My theory is that this was too thick. Or something. I don't know. Something was... Oh, you know what it might be? These little spokes in there, they go above this normal area, whereas in here it's flat. Can't really see that, but let's just hope that this one works now. So very carefully. And the tape itself, you don't want to make it too short, or else it'll snap. Okay, so we finally we freed this up, and that can go into a brand new Memorex, wherever it went. There we go. So I want to make a really beautiful tape loop with this. So when I do that, probably do that one next week, but you get the one reel here, and that's free. And I'll cut that off, and then I can put this in there, and I can make a tape loop that goes around both of those reels, and it'll look really beautiful. It's all about the look with this guy. It's caused us so much trouble, but boy, it's pretty. So, where's the top to this? I'm already losing things. Oh, it's right in front of me. Okay, here we go. So that screw, yeah, that's a wonky screw. It's got all sorts of weird plastic flonging around. Okay, so very carefully, you don't want the tape to get snagged on these square teeth here. The focus is pretty bad today. I think, give me a second. Let me switch this into a manual focus mode here. I think that'll, let's see here. Focus. We got the focus pocus. That's a bit better. Okay. So you gotta be careful. This part is the part that is the scariest, and it's already done for us. Just want to be careful. I like to do it in this type of a motion. You don't want to pinch that tape. I'm going to get a nice look at it here. Once you get the tape in there, all right, I think we got it. Now, hopefully, I don't know. Well, we're going to find out really quick if this worked out or not. So maybe I'll leave that wonky screw loose. Sometimes you have to have a screw loose. All right, I like to put the middle one in there when I'm testing. It'll hold the whole thing together pretty good, and I'm not going to over-tighten it. Okay, please, please. It's not the Batman tape anymore. Last week it was the Batman tape because it had black and yellow. I don't know, guys. Do we think it's going to work? Should we place some bets? All right. How we doing in the chat? Chat's not so bustling today. That's funny. Last week the chat was bustling. And Kiara always makes fun of me for saying that. I'll never live that one down. I said it once and now I have to say it a million times. Okay, let's slow down. Let's stop this soundscape. That was Electrified Rain by Archaic. It's all electric here. Oh, let's hope that this sucker works. I'm hoping because, you know, if it works, we can get straight to business. And you're usually listening for the splice. It is not a happy tape. I think it might be a bit tight. That's my guess. So, dang it. Well, maybe we can have a Batman tape after all, but I still want to use the yellow reels on that other one. Bummer. It must be too tight. Let's have a quick look at this. I'm really not sure why that's not working. Let's try it in this machine here really quick. I can potentially see the little blue splice tape in there. Yeah, it's not happy. It's just not happy. Well, dang. That's what we get for using tapes from the thrift shop. I'll have to figure that one out some other time, I guess. You're on the fritz. It will be nice to get that working. I don't like to waste plastic or anything like that, but I'm betting that it's just a bit short, that tape. Well, let's pop in the Electrified Rain once again, because we're gonna have to make a tape loop. That's what we usually do. I suppose. Well, we have a tape loop. We have a tape loop in here, so let's get a little bit scientific here. Let's do what they call a differential diagnosis. Let's try to figure this out. Is it the case, or is it the loop? Well, I'm on the case, and so are you. Let's open it back up. We got Master Tiger in the chat. Welcome back, Master. Yeah, it's funny. Making these tape loops. I want to race. I want to see how fast can I make a tape loop work. Because ultimately, my back gets a little bit stiff. And that doesn't feel so good. Now I wonder, oh man, this tape, this is, I don't know what to do with this tape. What a pain, McLean. Yikes. So this is interesting. I'm trying to do some tape psychology here, some forensic. Oh boy. This tape was blank when I tested it. I don't like to record over things, especially if there's someone's family history or something like that. A lot of these tapes get sent to the thrift shop by a relative or whatever, and it doesn't mean that they're junk or anything. I think that loop is too tight. Well, theoretically, I should be able to just run it like that. I've never tried that before. Should we try? I don't know. I'm tempted to not waste much more time on this, honestly. I really should just set it aside. I think it's too tight, though. Something is not happy with it. Well, let's give it an upgrade here. You know, this is the most difficult part, and so I just undid it there. Ooh, it's a feisty tape there. Let's try to feed it in here. This saves me the part where I have to pull out the janky tape dispenser, but just ever so carefully trying to feed in that loop. You guys know the drill. And if you're new here, give me a like and subscribe. We've got a lot of cool shows coming up. Ooh, so that was quick. I'm feeling lucky. Now, if the tape is too tight, maybe we can just bypass one of these pins. We have done that before, and sometimes you have to do a couple of different things to fix something. I guess it's too late to take the slip mat out. Well, it's actually not. Let's give it a fair shot. Let's take that slip mat out. I call it a slip mat. Oh, it's got a pin right there. So careful, because I already got the tape in place. Okay, there we go. Bye-bye. Well. And this reel does belong in here, so it's set up for a bit more success. One of the problems is if it's too tight, it'll snap, or it won't have enough play to go the right way. And if it's too loose, it can get bundled up in here, and that's something that happens when people's tapes got eaten up in the 90s, in the 80s and the 90s. That looks a little off center. Okay, let's try it out. Yeah, this is the ugly duckling tape, and this is the black sheep. I got the black sheep. I'm gonna have to get this working because it's so famous now. It's taking up so much of our dang time on Tuesdays near Use Day. All right, you know the drill. One screw in the middle. Because if it's not going to work, I don't want to waste the time screwing them all back. Okay. Woo! Let's see about this one now. Let's head on over to the Tascam. Okay, I'm sure hoping... Yeah, we were hoping before. Let's see. Oh, come on, please. It's working. Well, we got that tape, the loop inside of the tape to work, and that may have been the problem on the black sheep tape there. And now we got the ugly duckling tape. So it's good because I don't like to pull out my safety net tape loops too often. But I will have to record a lot of tape loops for the next Ease show. That's Ease, Electric Archaic Soundscape Expeditions. You can catch episode 1 on my channel. There's a link in the description. really nice. It's nice to... It's a kind of a cyberpunk, future, sci-fi sounding... Makes you feel like you're on the street eating a nice warm bowl of ramen while the rain comes down. You got hover cars. There's even some flying dolphins in there. You never know what's going to happen in the future. Right on, baby. We got a working tape loop. That's great. Okay, so now we got to think about what do we want to record on here. I was kind of thinking about doing some more sci-fi stuff. Maybe something like a satellite, like some Morse code or something. I don't know. We'll just figure it out. I got the Volca FM here again today, and that's a nice one to get some kind of variations in sound. We used the Volca keys last week to make those dolphin sounds. That's kind of my favorite synth for the dolphin sounds. But first, since that is working, let's put the rest of the screws back in that tape. A lot of things to keep track of here. You don't want things to get lost. We got Marlene in the chat. Did somebody say dolphins? Yep. We got dolphins. Well, we had some dolphins earlier. I suppose we could make another dolphin tape here, and then we can really have a dolphin conversation. But I wanna make some more musical sounding tape loops. It's fun to make these tape loops that you can play somewhat like an instrument. Well, that was interesting. It took about the same time to do all of that strange field trip around Tape Town. Tape Town. How are you guys feeling? A couple weeks ago, everyone was saying, do a tape week, every day, Tape Tuesday. Is that still an idea or what? I just want an excuse to not have to tear down my entire setup in between shows. I got a lot of cool shows on my channel. Check out the playlist. We got Mono Synth Monday. That's all about the TB-303 bassline synthesizer. We got Tape Tuesday. That's today. Got Workshop Wednesday. That's where I do some of my much needed repairs on some old synthesizers and things like that. And then there's Feedback Friday. We had a lot of fun on this last Feedback Friday. I've been figuring out some cool effects. Like this chroma key right here. Yeah, if you got any good ideas for future shows or future ideas for cassette tapes, let me know in the chat or in the comments. Right. Oh, let me get this plugged in. We're gonna do some freaky DX7 sounds. Now, there's a bit of noise on there. Not sure why. It's because that particular chunk of tape has been in and out of tapes with tweezers and all sorts of things. I worry about using tweezers to put the tape inside of the tape loop because it might impart some sort of magnetics onto it. But you really have to watch out with a magnetic screwdriver. That could potentially clear the tape or do something strange. We might have to experiment with that on a Tape Tuesday near you. Give me subscribe. Don't miss it. Let's see what we can do with this. And I do have reverb on today. I usually keep it dry so you can hear what's going on, but I think I'll just leave the reverb on and maybe it'll sound kind of cool. All right. Okay. Tape week, tape week, tape week. Oh, Master Tiger. We know Master Tiger wants a tape week. I want to do it. I think that we can make a lot of progress if we do a tape day every day for 7 days. And hopefully it doesn't turn into tape day for the rest of my life every single day. But that might be kind of I don't know. Yeah, I'm usually doing studio stuff, so maybe I could just come on here and and joke around with you. We got Han in the chat saying tape week. We're still gonna do it. I gotta maybe move some things around on the live stream schedule. But like I said, it will be a lot easier for me to do. I feel like it would be. Because I'll just leave all the gear hooked up. I'll leave all the gear right on the table here. All right, let's plug in the Volca FM. And just plug it straight into track 1. That's right here. We set this to mic line and track 1. So there was a bit of noise on this. It's actually just, well, that track 1 is very noisy. Is it just or is it a combination? Yeah, I don't know. It's not sure if you guys can hear that. So sometimes I think that I'm hearing things a bit in a more precise detail than you guys are, but it's probably not going to matter. Let's saturate the tape with some synthesizer sounds. Okay, we got Han in the chat saying, then you went to Tape Yoda. Are you saying that if I do tape day every single day, I'll get smaller and more green and my speech patterns will change? Tape tomorrow we must. Use the loop. Loop. I am your father. And that's TapeLoop to you, Loop. Loop Skywalker. Oh boy, that's nice. Okay, let's get endless jokes. Endless jokes. That's why I come on here, is just to invent endless jokes. Eventually I'll go from making music to just being a live stream stand-up comedian. I'll have to make a tape loop of people cheering and laughing. That way all my jokes will be funny. I'm not so sure if they are. At least I think they're funny. Okay, let's get some music going here. Get some power to this little synthesizer. I'm gonna check my tracks again. We went back onto tape mode, so we got to flip it into mic line mode, set it for record. You got to give it some level, not too much though. You don't want to hurt your ears or anything. Get the EQ set correctly. Yeah, so the tape's just running there. I guess I could hit record at any point in time. I have the electromagnet covered with some Scotch tape. You got to do that or else there'll be a gap. And you'd rather have sound on sound than a gap. There's another way to do it where you pre-record the tape and then you just chop it to size and make your tape loop. I personally, I like to make these things real time. It's a lot more fun for me. And it allows for, you know, here we go. Where's my tape afro? Should I get the tape afro going here? 1 second. You need the tape loop happy accidents. Now then. That's my impression of a crazy cassette tape Bob Ross. Yeah. Now then. Oh boy. I'm forgetting all my Bob Ross quotes on the fly. I gotta get back to business. This is a silliness. Come on. Let's find a nice patch here on this DX7 clone. We used that a couple weeks ago, and that sounded really nice on the cassette tape indeed. Give it a little bit more level on the Tascam. You want to see that level there. We want to. Sometimes I feel like I like to saturate the tape, and I think what that means. I haven't done any research on that term technically, but when you saturate it with sound, you're almost overdriving it, and it can distort. So you don't want to saturate it too much, but the better the signal is, the more magnetic particles are holding your sound on the tape, and it just sounds really analog and crunchy, and that's why I'm going through all this trouble in the first place, because it's analog, and we're going for that crunch. You know what I mean? Yeah. Let's find some patches in here. Let's find something nice. These are both two patches we used previously on Tape Tuesday. That's a classic DX7 sound right there. Ooh, I like that. That's jelly beans. I'm not sure if that's a patch I loaded in or if that comes standard with the Korg Volca. That might sound pretty good. It's kind of a sine wave with a little bit of a glassy hit to it. Let's see what else we got. Now that'd be fun. That would be a fun thing to do. I showed you how to sync up a drum machine to a tape loop before, but I wonder if we should try to do that here, and I don't have to sync up the drum loop. I would just do it, but I have to kind of clock the splice to get the right tempo there. I'm not sure. Maybe if we put a synth sound on there, that would help me in my brain figure out where the interval starts over, and then we could do some. I like that a lot. So what's that one called? Let's remember that. Bamboo. I think that patch is called a bamboo. And remember, the reverb here is in my DAW. It's not coming out of here. Kind of a synth organ sound. That's got a fifth going. Some great drum sounds. I like that right there. I think we'll do that. I'm just going to record it. I'm going to wait for the splice. There it is. Whoops, I hit rewind instead of record. Total record. Maybe it's time for you to take a vacation from yourself. Oh, that makes sense. No wonder why I hit the rewind button. We have one more step to do here. This is the time where I say you got to tape your tape. You see, there's the right protection tab. If that's popped out, there's this switch in here, and it won't push the switch, and then you can't record. Where's my tape? Where's my washi tape at? Like I said, it's Tape Tuesday. Give me a like and subscribe if you're having fun here. I try to make it fun for everyone. If nothing else, there's a bunch of strange jokes you've never heard before. And I've never heard these jokes myself either. Oh man, I'm losing it over here. Okay. So much going on. I really have a lot of cool stuff in store for you guys. I want to keep doing the fan favorite shows though. It seems like Tape Tuesday is the one. All right, that's washi tape. It's really nice it's the exact width you need. I'm a really big fan of the tape being the exact width you need. If you've joined me on previous episodes, you've seen how I use a splicing tape that's meant for cassette. And, wow, that's a bit loose. The tape is hanging out there. Get back in there. Get back in there. A little bit of a taper. Yeah, I won't say it, but the tape was hanging out. And I'm willing to bet I'm thinking of a different thing than you are. Dirty minds. Get out of here. Okay, we're ready. We're actually ready to record our cheesy digital synth to tape, which usually makes it sound, ooh, so good. Okay. It's got some nice bass in it, and we're getting a healthy level. All right, I wait for the splice a little bit. Sorry, I keep hitting the wrong note. Let's record it. And maybe I'll try something. Let's speed this. Speed it up to the top here. We're still on the modified Walkman speed. But I want to really crunch it down and get some hefty bass going here. All right. I don't know why it's taking me so long. A little bit of sound on sound. Now let's hear what it sounds like. Flip it back into the tape mode and give it a shot. Oh, it turned out to not be very good. It's more noise than sound. What happened there? Dang. Well. Huh. That's strange. Well, maybe we should record right on top of it with some sound on sound. See what's going on here. That's the fun about this. You gotta get on here and experiment with things. A lot of the stuff you can find in your local thrift shop. I imagine. I know there's a lot of thrift shops here that have just piles of cassette tapes and broken Walkman. And a lot of times with the broken Walkman, you can fix the belts, and then they're as good as new, kind of. You can also find these things on the internet. But I encourage you all to get out there and try to make some tape loops, or even just make some music on tape. It's not always about the tape loop. You can always just sync up all your drum machines and synthesizers and record it to tape, and it sounds fantastic. Gives you that lo-fi feeling. Okay, let's flip this back in. I'm not sure why that was such a weak level there. I mean, it looks very healthy here, but it didn't end up being very healthy. So maybe I'll jack up the input level there. And just go fire right into the record. Let's hear how that sounds. Please sound better than the last take. Oh yeah. Crunchy. Now that I can kind of clock the loop in my brain, we can put some drums on. I'm gonna flip over and get onto track 2 here. So for my ease show, which is a lot of times it sounds like a kind of a sci-fi soundscape, like you're sitting in a ramen shop in the future, and if you were on the street eating a nice bowl of ramen in the future, waiting for their next replicant to show up. Oh boy. Anyways, there would be some cars going by and they'd be playing some futuristic music. So we're making that futuristic music, and then they're going to be playing it in a car that goes by in the soundscape, or maybe they've parked and they're having a conversation with some of their friends about what cassette deck do you prefer? Well, I prefer the Tascam in my car. And then they got little robotic freaky teddies DJing the tapes. One can dream, right? Where's Freaky? Oh, I see you, Freaky. That is one freaky teddy. Sure is cute, though, too. Oh, no. Freaky teddy! Gonna make a star out of you. Okay, let's get this beat back into our mind here, and I gotta go back over here to the synth. Well, first, I gotta get my brain in order here. Okay, we'll go into mic line and then track 2. Sweet. Actually, that sounds so good. Why don't we just record that? But maybe we can. The FM synthesis is pretty crazy. So, but I know you can tweak some knobs and get a slightly different patch. So let's try that out. Sounds like the resonance there. I apologize for that. That does sound very sci-fi, though. I feel like I have heard that in some sci-fi movies from the 80s. I'm gonna go ahead and record that to track 2, and then we'll put a beat underneath them. See how that sounds? I hit a couple of the notes. Whoa, now can you feel that bass? That's going for it. Yikes. I'm gonna have to shut the... I think I modified... Well, I'm not sure if I modified the operating system on this, or if I just made one of those settings where it'll continue to play the note that you played even if you're switching the patches. So I'm gonna have to just turn it off there. Let's hear how that one sounded. We're going for those weird sci-fi sounds. Gotta love it. Yeah. Some sort of monster spawning in from the portal above. But it's a friendly monster, and it's trying to teach us again about love. Yeah, that works for me. Now, let's see what it sounds like turning the pitch down. Almost sounds like thunder. Yeah, that's creepy. Let's get those drum beats dialed back in. I kind of want to hear some beats on a tape loop. Got to switch the input. Track 3. Give some level. Mic line. That would be very nice too, but we're going for the drum beats, right? What was the patch called? It was called Bamboo. cool to me. Let's try to record something like that. I gotta get the beat right. I keep doing it on a strange beat in my mind. Not sure if that's the right tempo. You gotta, it's tough because when you're using drum machines, they just tell you, but in this you kind of have to intuit it. And sometimes it turns out all right anyway, but you do want to kind of land it so that it's not, so you don't have to re-record it, or so that it, you know, is actually worth running. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 5, 1. Okay, so a little slower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's another thing that might be messing me up. I got the echo going in the DAW back here, and that's set to whatever the BPM is in my Ableton. I'm going to turn that off real quick. See if that helps us out. That's tough. I thought it was tough syncing up a drum machine to a tape loop, but this seems to be kind of tough as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't. I don't know. My brain's not braining as far as that's concerned. I wanted it a bit faster too, so maybe I'll try that. Okay, we got some sound on sound there. I did just record that. Let's hear what happened. I don't know. Sometimes can be a little bit strange. And that's okay, just as long as it's not too strange. It's got a weird polymeter to it, I guess. That's kind of what I was worried about, is that when you can land it right on the downbeat or on some sort of metric of the beat, it's doing something funky. I'm not sure. Did we like it? Let me know in the chat if you like it. I tended to record over it, but then we got to pull the tape off of the electromagnet. Let's hear how it sounds slowed down a bit. I joke. I say a bit. That's a whole lot. That's crunchy for sure. It's not really working for me. I don't know. Kiara likes it. She says it's super fresh. It's organic. I'd say from the earth, but it's really from the electricity. Yeah, it just bugs me. I'm too much of a perfectionist to let that slide. I try to be a scientist and let things slide every now and then, but It's not working for my brain. How many? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So is it 5 beats? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, 5 beats are okay. They're definitely different. That's what I ought to do, is record some hi-hats onto that. Maybe I can fish out a mic cable and just do that. We haven't done any vocals on the tape loops. Maybe we'll keep it. We'll keep the 5 beat. Maybe the hi-hat will bring it together. I don't know. I can probably do that with the synth. We'll do some freaky vocal tape loops. Maybe we'll do that next week. I know someone here in the chat was requesting monkey sounds. Who was that? Reveal yourself. We got Hen. They're saying it's a little defunct. But what about the hi-hats? If I do something like... The problem is that my hi-hats are running in my brain at 4/4, and this is doing a 5. Oh boy, let's try it. Let's just try. But that is definitely a defunct sound right there. If I just do it... Okay, so if it goes... It might be cool. Let's try it. I'm gonna try it. We can record over both of them later if we need to. Gotta find some kind of hi-hat-ish sound here. Oh, switch it over. Okay, I set this for mic line and give it some level. What do we had? We had one that... That might do as a hi-hat. Well, it's not quite a hi-hat, but let's see if we can get it. Yeah, that might do the trick. We're ready to record this now. Let's see. I screwed it up. Whoa. It was maybe circumstances want us to re-record that. Let's just hear how it sounds. I hit a bum note on there. That's the problem with these little touchscreen synthesizers. They're nice and compact. Yeah, the first episode of Tape Tuesday, I broke out the OB6 and it was out of frame and it was massive, and I need some more space. I'm pushing for the studio upgrade here at some point, but we got to make do with what we got. Let's hear what happened. Oh boy. It was such a weak level. What? Yeah. Well, since the level is so weak, maybe we can just fire in right on top of it. Let's see. I think that's it. Hopefully it sounds pretty cool. Again, if it's music from the future, maybe they get sick of 4/4 time and they do some weird, just strange intervals. All right. thinking of this? We can always be basic and turn it into a drone. I kind of like it. I just imagine a car driving by playing this. On your future radio, we have future radio sounds. All the 5/4 beats. Is it called 5/4 if it's 5? Yeah, because you would do 5/4 times. I don't know. I do a lot of this stuff with the 303, but it's on top of a 4/4 beat. So the polymeter eventually catches up with you, but if it's just straight 5. There was a really good song someone did. Who was it? It wasn't Smashing Pumpkins, it was... It did a 5 count beat. We got Hen in the chat. They are the ones that wanted the monkey sound at TapeLooP, but lazy monkeys with sunglasses on, I don't think they're making much sound, are they? What does a lazy monkey with sunglasses sound like? They're toasting their coconuts like... We got oh boy. That first track there is still sounding a bit rubbish to me. Maybe we should record right on over that, but I don't know. Let's pull the tape and pull the tape. Again, it's Tape Tuesday. What I mean is this tape here. You got a little chunk of Scotch tape I'm using to record the electromagnet. Let's make sure these are all on safe. This tape loop's growing on me. All right, I think you just set it to mic line and throw it into this record mode here. And you just record over the whole thing. Just check that again. Safe. Yeah. No level, nothing. And just boom, let it delete. I'm deleting the one with the drone and not the one with the 5 count beat. That's funny. That should be enough. Okay, I gotta remove the tape and replace the tape. Oh, yeah. We gotta get in there. Gotta jump in. That should do the trick. And hopefully it gets rid of that weird noise too. Sometimes I have to put a toothpick in here. I guess this got loose over time. I think there's a little plastic thing in there that pushes against the tape. And I imagine after 30 some years, maybe that's just kind of gotten a little flabby. You feel a little flabby. Now we got to flip it into the safe mode and then tape listen mode. I guess. I mean, I'm hearing a bit of noise there, but... We got Hedden saying they love to pitch the bell sound before it gets pitched down. So let's pitch it back up and see. Where'd it go? This is the bell? No. It's definitely a different tape loop, that's for sure. I'm gonna record this next thing on high pitch there. I like that. I gotta sample that at least before I record over it. It reminds me of, not quite a 303, but back in high school I used to think that 303 could make that kind of a sound, and kind of can, but it's more of a drum sound. Hen is saying electronic monkeys with sunglasses has to be a dub track. Well, we can do that because I got the DIY tape delay. So that lends itself very nicely to that dub sound. Slow down. Yeah, slow down dirty with a lot of tape loop or tape delay. That's right. Let's find another patch here and get a better recording. I'm not sure why that's. There's a lot of things I'm not sure of, but okay. Also not sure where I can hear this far track. I know tape bleed is a thing, and that's where the tape head isn't exactly all lined up. And with tape loops, it's can happen. But I'm hearing this track ever so slightly. Well, no, I'm not anymore. So I guess maybe it was a fader jobber. Okay, let's find a different drone here. Switch over my input on the Tascam. Flip it into mic line. Record on track 1. Get back on over to the Vocal FM. I really like this thing, especially recorded to tape. What do we think of that? Nice harmonics in that. Let's do it. Straight away, let's do it. Now, I guess maybe I'll just lean into the polymeter that's going on there. So I did a couple different hits on that. Let's switch this over. Let's hear what we got. I think that's going to sound pretty cool. Taco Bell. Apparently the Taco Bell jingle uses just the preset bell patch on the DX7. And so did Enya. No, that was a D50 in Enya's case. I don't know, this sounds kind of like monkey business to me. It's not dub though. They don't have. These are not sunglasses monkeys. These are more warehouse monkeys. Now I'm gonna re-record that track because it's now no longer in key with the other ones. Okay, let's get that set up here. We give it some level. Oh, we gotta do the clear thing again. Just gotta remove the tape and remove the tape. You want to be careful with these things. You don't want a random piece of Scotch tape getting. I don't know. Maybe that's paranoia, but okay. Well, let's see. Let's set this to track 2. Mic line, no level, no pressure. Just record straight over it. There we go. That should do the trick. I gotta retape it. Yeah. Hey, give me a like and subscribe if you're having fun with me today. I do this every week. Tape Tuesday. Oh, it's my favorite Tuesday activity. Right after getting sunshine. Yeah, I'm sacrificing my sunshine time for you, but maybe a little cloudy and, well, it was kind of rainy here, and that was nice because I live in the desert. But what am I even saying? Let's get back to the tape loop. This is our ugly duckling tape loop, and so it's fitting that it's got a strange beat on it. And when you know how difficult it is to put a beat on a tape loop, you'll let it slide. Now that should be a nice blank track there, and we can do whatever we want to it. Maybe we should add some more drums. Maybe we should get those toasting coconut monkeys out. I don't know what a coconuts don't sound that good when you. Okay, whatever. I'm losing it. Okay, anyways, let's see here. Yeah, we got hen. They're saying, get your sunshine. I'm going to get it. I will get it, but I got to finish. I can't leave a tape loop with an empty track. And the splice don't sound too amazing either. All right, let's see. Maybe let's do some more percussion. I like this. It's very much grown on me. I hope it's grown on you. Yeah. All right, let's find a different patch here. Oh, I gotta set this over here. A lot of moving around on these things. Bam, bam. You get better the more you do it. Whoa, that's the way wrong one. What am I doing? Track 2, my friend. Okay. Maybe a nice little melody? I don't know. I think so. Let's do some. I don't have much time. Having fun here. That's what it's all about. Okay. If I can pull this off, the touchscreen is difficult. Is that going to be boring though on a tape loop if it's the only thing over and over and over again? I don't know. Yeah. Welcome to my studio session. There's a lot of it just figuring things out. In the studio, if you make music, you surely know what I'm talking about. Let's hear how that sounds. Hopefully it sounds good. Please sound good for me. That's not bad. We got Marlene in the chat. She's saying she loves the background bell. I'm still trying to figure out if you mean this is the bell, right? Because that's more of a drum. I don't know why my brain feels like that could be a bell. Here we go. Let's do a little jam here with our brand new tape loop. I might want to add that higher note though, with some sound on sound here. I might have to just re-record. Well, let's see if I can pull off some sound on sound. I never really got super crazy with it on Tape Tuesday, but I want to push the limits, or just get a little bit more loose with it, you know. I got to shake out my back, you know, after working on tapes, hunched over like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Got to get moving a little bit. If I can make this sound, well, it doesn't exactly sound like Pink Elephants on Parade, but they do the jig. But they have like a towel that flossing. Flossed in paradise. Welcome to the randomness. Okay. Let's try this out. I'm gonna try to sound on sound very quickly, just one note onto that melody there, and that's the note. All right, it was a quick one. Super quick one. Let's flip it back over. And then maybe I'll play you a song before I let you guys go. It worked. I'm still worried it's a bit repetitive though. And it needs maybe that'll sound good slower. One of the tricks with these tape loops is you want them to be able to go for a while. If it gets too repetitive too fast, you're gonna be. It needs to be worth its space, because at the end of the day, these are taking up space, or should we say, taping up space. Let's slow that down. Just. Now that does kind of sound like a beacon. Wanted to make kind of a Morse code thing. I just envision all these things in my mind, what would be going on in a really nice utopian future. Now maybe this is calling out to the jelly dancers up there in the sky. You know, when we get past a couple of these weird points in humanity, and then we start inviting our galactic family in. And maybe the jelly dancers in the sky are the ones playing us this music. I like that. I think I'm gonna leave that tape loop just how it is. I really like that low. All the DX7 sounds sound really metallic and glassy to me. Sometimes I get my 303 to sound glassy when it's not sounding acidic. Now that does sound like a bell. The big one in Batman that they boom. Oh, you want to get nuts. Well, I sure have had a lot of fun here with you guys today. Give me a like and subscribe. We're gonna have to do a Tape Tuesday next week, of course, and yeah, I'm gonna be thinking about Tape Week. I imagine we should launch it on a Tuesday, but it's a lot to think about. You know, it's a whole week of tape madness every single day. We can get a lot of good tape loops made up and recorded. I need that for my Ease show. Ease episode 2. We got a nice little stack of tapes going here from Tape Tuesday, but we need more. So yeah, Tape Week. Ooh, I got to get myself warmed up for the Tape Week. Kiara was joking last week. She said, "You're the right kind of weird," and I don't know. Maybe I'm pushing it today. You got to push the limits. Push the limits of the sound. Push the limits of the sound. I'm gonna play you a song. Those of you who know I grew up in my dad's recording studio. This is my all-time favorite song, and I am serious about that. I don't know why. It's got a funky beat. Nothing quite like a... Well, I don't know. It's good. We'll have to hear. We'll have to listen for the beat, but I don't think it's got a 5 count like this is. Thanks for bearing with me on this weird one tape loop. The song I'm going to play you is Everybody Downtown, Downtown by J.J. Huggins. Check it out. It's on all streaming platforms. It's my absolute favorite song. And it will be forever. That is Everybody Downtown by J.J. Huggins. It's my favorite song. Woo! And that's featuring me, a teeny tiny electric archaic. I think I was about 8 years old. I was the little the little boy on the microphone going downtown, downtown. Yeah. Well then, I'm gonna leave you with a little bit of electrified rain. Welcome to my city in the sky, in the future. I sure love you all. Ooh, the bottom of my heart, speaking to ya. I love you all, and I love this planet. I'm so happy I get to go outside and hang out in the sunshine. Make sure to get some sunshine, because I know you love this planet too, just as much as I do. And remember, always remember, you are the one. And together, we're the ones. And we can make a better tomorrow. Let's think about that, and let's do it. Let's make it happen. Oh yeah, I get so fired up. It's the creative power. It gets me fired up. You gotta fire in. Thanks once again, everyone in the chat family. Oh, that was a good one today. Woo! We'll be back next week for Tape Tuesday again, and give me a like and subscribe if you're new here. I got a lot of cool stuff coming up. Working on a radio show. Well, I don't know how much I should give away, but yeah. JJ Huggins and I, we're putting together some really interesting concepts for some new shows. And we got a whole lot of cool tapes from the 90s, from the 80s and the 90s demo tapes. And the vibe is just immaculately lo-fi, and it makes you feel like a king. So shout out to JJ Huggins. I love you, my man. And that's all I got. Now it's time for me to disappear.